Fabrice Seiman is Managing Director at Lutetia Capital. He joins us now from Paris. So let me start by asking you about the tax issue. Obviously, you know, very much a contentious issue that both Hollande and Nicolas Sarkozy have been arguing over. They certainly both seem to be backing a transaction tax. How concerned are you about the impact this could have on financial institutions in France?
Well, overall, right now in this presidential election, we have a tax contest between the two candidates, and soon they are going to really break the sound barrier of demagogy, both of them. It is true for the tax transaction on financial transactions. It is also true of the recent announcement by Nicolas Sarkozy that are pretty much in line with what Francois Hollande said.
So you don't see, from your point of view, you're not seeing much difference between these two?
Well, there is a lack of common sense, and you know, to announce a tax every single day, that's easy. What I would like to hear is how we are going to reduce the spendings. You know, at the end of the day, there is a lot of room for improvement on French spendings. When you see that the Bank of France have 16,000 employees and is not independent anymore, and a central bank in the UK has 3,000 employees and has the control over its currency, I think that you see how much room for improvement you have. So instead of announcing a tax every single day, what I would like to hear from the two presidential candidates is the way how they are going to reduce the spendings.
So just to be clear about this, Fabrice, are you saying that tangible, solid measures to rein back on spending, to essentially enforce more budgetary discipline in France, would give you more confidence as an investor?
Absolutely, absolutely, and that's really what we're looking for. It is, again, very easy to announce taxes. What we know that the spendings will be reduced, have to be reduced. The room for maneuver is going to be very small for the next president, whoever it is. And so what we would like to know is like numbers and precise targets to reach in very specific sectors.
Fabrice, your portfolio is what, 5% invested in French stocks? We're just talking about the CAC 40 rally there this year. They've outperformed the 6.5% increase on the Stocks Europe 600 index, essentially that being the index of the region's biggest companies. Is that mainly down to the ECB?
Yeah, clearly this is a direct link to the form of quantitative easing that the European Central Bank has been doing since a couple of months now. You have to bear in mind that 1 trillion euros was pulled into the financial system. It is a good thing, and I think that the European Central Bank was up to the task. So it provided the liquidity as it should, its role. Now it's up to the governments to take the lead and to implement the reforms that we have been postponing for decades.
Just a quick one, Fabrice. Most of your portfolio is invested in the US and Europe. You're saying that we're going to see more M&A in the US. Tell me what is going to fuel that activity and which industries it's going to be concentrated in.
It is true that clearly the M&A activity has been better in the US in the last semester. There was a sharp decline in Europe in M&A activity. I believe that there are going to be a couple of sectors where the volume is going to continue to be steady, like the healthcare sector, like the technology sector, like the energy sector. We cannot rule out as well a pickup in Europe because of the low valuations, because of the level of the euro, because also of the cash trapped from American companies notably, and that's going to fuel M&A activity. When you see Microsoft, for example, taking over Skype, when you see Johnson & Johnson taking over Synthes, it is also because some of their cash is trapped in Europe and it's better for them to use it instead of doing nothing with it.
Fabrice Seiman, Managing Partner at Lutetia Capital, thanks very much. Really good to get your perspective.